twice. Although Ellen had preferred their original seats in back, she had to admit that she, too, had noticed the horrible smell that had prompted Sue to want to move. But even now, as they settled into their seats closer to the screen, the odor lingered. Sue, who preferred the aisle seat even though she had the better bladder, whispered to Tanya, "Did you step in something, Tanya?" Tanya, in the middle seat, checked the bottom of her shoes. "I don't think so. Do I smell bad?" Ellen didn't reply because she'd come to suspect that Tanya had been the cause of the odor all along. Maybe she had a sour stomach and bad gas. "They say your nose adjusts eventually," Sue commented as she cracked open her cherry Coke. "Is it really that bad?" Tanya asked, her cheeks turning red. "I don't smell anything." "Evidently your nose already adjusted. I guess your skills of adaptation are superior to ours." "Oh, Sue," Ellen scolded. That night, Ellen was awakened in the hotel room by a shriek. Tanya, sleeping in the bed opposite her, was crying out. Ellen flipped on the bedside lamp and sat up. "Tanya?" Tanya turned onto her side toward Ellen. "Huh?" She blinked several times. Ellen was shocked by the very dark rings beneath her friend's eyes and by her pale, pasty complexion. "Are you feeling okay?" Ellen asked. "Just tired," Tanya said as she closed her eyes. "Bad dream." But Ellen was worried and felt like Tanya might need medical attention. She wished Sue was there to give an opinion. Both Tanya and Ellen had told Sue that her snoring didn't bother them, but she had reserved her own room anyway. Ellen crawled out of bed and inspected Tanya's face beneath the light of the lamp. Deciding not to waken Tanya a second time, Ellen climbed back beneath her covers and flipped off the light. She lay there, worrying, for many hours. Tanya slept in the passenger seat for most of the trip to Tulsa, as Ellen drove and Sue navigated from the back seat. Ellen had hoped her friends would trade places so she and Sue could visit and make the drive go by faster, but they were afraid Tanya would get carsick in the back. Plus, Sue preferred the back seat because she didn't have to wear a seatbelt. When they were still a half hour away from Tulsa, Sue leaned toward the front and said, "Tanya, you awake?" Tanya didn't move. Then to Ellen, Sue said, "I've been Googling her symptoms." "You don't think it's her inner ear?" Ellen asked. "If it were, the Epley maneuver would have worked." "Maybe we didn't do it right." Sue frowned. "I followed the video exactly." "What does Dr. Google say then?" Ellen asked, secretly wishing Sue would sit back in her seat and wear her seatbelt. "Well, we know she's not diabetic. Her doctor would have caught that last month when she had her annual checkup." "True. And we know it's not her thyroid because she just had that checked when they removed that tumor from her parathyroid in Houston a few months ago, right? But it could be related to that, couldn't it?" Sue lowered her voice. "Ellen, brace yourself." Ellen glanced at Sue's reflection in the rearview mirror. Sue whispered, "I think it's a demon attachment." Ellen narrowed her eyes at Sue in the mirror. "Seriously? What makes you think that? You didn't think something was strange about the nightmare she had last night?" At breakfast, Tanya had told them about a horrible dream in which Tanya had murdered them in their sleep and had gorged on their blood. Tanya hadn't been able to eat breakfast because she had still felt nauseated from the experience, which she'd said had felt disturbingly real. "It was just a bad dream," Ellen insisted. "Here are some of the symptoms of demon attachment: severe nightmares or night terrors, strange lingering odors, depression, fatigue, personality changes, blackouts in memory, and abusive behavior." Ellen laughed. "Tanya is the last person on earth who'd be abusive, and those symptoms apply to at least a dozen health issues I can think of right off the top of my head." "Maybe, but I think we should be on the lookout just in case. I've been sensing something unusual lately. It went away when I was in my own hotel room, but it came back when we met for breakfast this morning. Also, my phone keeps dying when I'm around her. It's fine in my own room, but when I'm with you two, the battery drains." Ellen had learned not to assume that every claim Sue made about her gift was based purely on her imagination. While Ellen tended to be a skeptic first and foremost, she'd seen enough to be able